Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, ladies and gentlemen, and all in between, and welcome back to part 2 of the Pathologic Classic HD Bachelor playthrough. Now, when last we left off, we had just dealt with the tutorial, so now we're going to get started into the main game, which actually part of it is rummaging through bins for some goodies. The first thing we've got to do is go talk to Georgi Kain and learn a little bit more about him and his family. And he's just up the road. One of the best tips I can give anybody who plays Pathologic or Pathologic 2 is to search the bins. There's a real cool trading mechanic in this game called Hobonomics, where basically you can trade with most of the townspeople for interesting things. The polyhedron, the cathedral. Like you might trade like a couple of marbles to a child for a shotgun shell, for example. So it's always really worth searching the bins for some good stuff. And here we have him, the main man, Georgi Kain.
In growing old, we become more foolish and more wise.
Most venerable doctor, it is with great impatience that we have been expecting you. You need not delve into the minutiae of your business with us, since our family is well acquainted with your scholarly work. We are also quite aware of the difficulties you are experiencing and well prepared to do our utmost to support you. It hurts me all the more to be the one to inform you that Simon, my consanguineous brother, the creator, keeper, and embodiment of all that surrounds us, has been murdered. I can't believe it. It cannot be. My brother was murdered last night under the strangest of circumstances, but for all the mystery surrounding his death, I'd rather eschew the notion that his departure was connected with whoever had visited Simon that evening. The visitor is a man of laudable rectitude and an old friend of our family. There are witnesses to testify that he and Simon did nothing but converse. Who was the visitor? Someone you know quite well. The man whom my brother saw last night was your colleague, Isidore Boulard. Was he not the very person to advise you to come here as well? I would have told you that I'd been brought here by the hand of fate not so long ago, a naive man that I was. Isidore has done more than he thinks. I have a lingering feeling that time itself is using uncontestable powers to further its own intentions. What do you think? Categories like time, nature, and fate deprive man of responsibility from what goes on around him. I was taught to avoid this worldview. It could be that my mind is clouded by sorrow, but I cannot escape the feeling that your arrival was no coincidence. Your choice was made for you, my dear doctor. Let us not blame fate for it. Isidore wrote to you without making us aware. He took a risk that could have displeased our family. Really? Even though you were uncertain of when you would arrive, my brother was looking forward to meeting you. The tragedy may have been a consequence of the actions he took in preparation for your arrival. Someone has taken a powerful piece from the chessboard, a piece upon which your position here depended. It is doubly regrettable that Simon was playing on our side. My sincere condolences to you. Is there anything I can do to help? Do you want to help us, Doctor? Find the murderer for us. My brother Victor, who is in the wing next door, would share some of his thoughts on the matter. Help us, and the reward will not disappoint you. Indeed, it seems that there are too many coincidences. Your brother's murder can just as well be called a murder of Bachelor Dankovsky. I will help you in every way that I can. I'm convinced that if there is anyone at all that can help us solve this puzzle, then it is you. This mission calls for someone as astute and inventive as yourself. If Isidore was an instrument of fate, then Simon's murder is a message that fate intended for you personally. Do not think I am inclined to blame you for that. I am not. How do you plan to look for the murderer? We will take our own measures. The only thing I expect from you is to be yourself. Do only what you think is required, whatever you found out, whenever you do, whatever your day turns into. Everything is a clue to the solution of this puzzle. I repeat, everything that is happening here is happening on your account. You have my sympathy. 6:43 in the morning. This is where Victor lives, the youngest of the three Kain brothers. He can tell me more about Simon's manner of death. And we have our first main quest, In Pursuit of a Killer, to find out who killed the immortal Simon Kain. The dead man's own family may not want it more than I do. I have an abiding desire to punish the murderer, to eradicate them, no matter if they were acting on their own account or at the behest of the powers that be. Whoever they were, they picked the moment far too well. You'll notice they name the powers that be. It comes up quite a lot in the pathologic mythos. And we'll learn a lot about it in the Bachelor playthrough. But for now we're heading to see Victor Kain. The poor Bachelor, his work, his entire livelihood depended on talking to Simon and proving that one could beat death. And now that isn't going to be possible.
Perhaps Olgimsky is setting a trap for this newly arrived Haruspex.
The famous Dr. Dankovsky. Your arrival is a great honor for us. Victor Kain, at your service. Daniel Dankovsky at yours. I foresee that the things that have become ordinary for us will probably make you feel uncomfortable and disturbed. I would like to compensate for that impression. You know, our small community has fallen out of the loop. Time leaves us behind. Oh, what do you mean? I mean the traditions. Games that we play with passion will most likely be of no interest to you. The people you meet here may seem eccentric, naive, or even somewhat deranged. Please take it easy on us. Don't judge us too strictly. I will do my best not to disappoint you.
Who is it walking upstairs?
How can I help you? And Georgi has told me everything, which is to say he told me very little. But it was enough to astound me. He maintains that you can provide a more detailed account. So you have agreed to help us? I have. May I ask why? I want to solve a puzzle. I even like having so little information. It's a challenge to my intellect. I'm prepared to answer any questions you may have. When was Simon last seen? He sent Isidore home. Then an hour later he came to this hall to see us. He announced his plans to withdraw to the Focus, and receive no one. He told us not to approach the Focus and to fast for a week, partaking of neither meat nor water. Then in the morning he was found dead. How was he found? The servants discovered him in the morning. The room had been ransacked. Everything that was breakable had been broken. His disfigured, contorted body bore signs of terrible suffering. His neck was twisted, his spine broken, I think. No one has touched the body. It is currently inside the Focus and will remain there for the prescribed amount of time. What's this Focus place? It's hard to explain. It's his study, if you will. An extraordinarily spacious creative laboratory, almost perfectly sealed off, except for the door that was visible at all times, and metaphorically speaking. I don't understand. It's like an equation, or a mirror puzzle. Anyway, the murderer could not have been hiding there. Take my word for it. Or else Simon did get in there somehow. He could perform far more impressive feats. There's a reason why the whole town revered him. Tell me honestly, dear Victor, did Simon exist at all? Bravo, Doctor! There is indeed a spark of genius to you. Alas, yes, he did. Alas. It's not that I would benefit from his death. Alas, for that would be too simple an explanation. Simon well and truly did exist. That is exactly what's left everyone in disarray. It was so hard for them to accept his existence that the thought of his demise is now driving them mad. Fair enough. What do you want from me then? Just take a look around. Trust your intuition. Do whatever you like. Speak to whoever you feel the need to. Look for the murderer, Doctor, and you will find them. Keep looking till the last breath. I am sure your rational thinking will help you. Alright, who among the townsfolk can help me with this? My daughter will advise you better there. Her name is Maria. For several days she's been obsessed with some design that is somehow related to your arrival. Yes, don't be surprised, she knew beforehand that you were coming. I'll find explanations for everything that's going on here, eventually. Really? That's good. Anyway, Maria believes that several bound people will play a special role in your fate. Before you leave this place, of course. Perhaps it is them you should ask for help first. First I'll seek help from my dear colleague Isidore Boulach. Where does he live? I'll show you, but you must be careful. Simon's murderer, whoever they are, could not be an ordinary person. I can't imagine them even being a person. I fear that it could only be fate, wearing the guise of a mysterious monster. I will be careful. This is where Isidore Boulach lives, the man who had brought me to this remote place. He is the last person that saw Simon Kain alive.
I feared that Simon's death was a symbolic event.
It's always good just checking the characters and seeing if they have any additional dialogue besides the main conversation. So first we want to go visit his daughter, Maria, who somehow apparently knew about our coming even probably before we did. And who are these bound people? Victor said they'll play an important role in my journey here. We will fight the powers that be as best we can. They won't ruin my work.
Yes.
You resemble an adventurer rather than a doctor. Appearances can be deceiving. I saw you in a dream. Don't flatter yourself. My desires have nothing to do with that. I simply saw you take us all by the throat. What else did you see in that dream? I'll tell you when I think I can trust you. I hope that happens soon.
It came from below the ground. For many years, we were burying the bones wrong.
Now listen closely. The time for collusion, secrets, and alliances has come. I'm going to ask something of you. I'm not used to that. I'm used to holding the reins. But you are not harnessed, so it would be unacceptable to address you in this manner. I find solace in the fact that my request will be welcome with you. It fits the style of your venture. I'm not an adventurer, and my job is no venture. I hope it never becomes one. I apologize if my words come across as mangled and silly. I am truly not used to asking. But the nature of my request demands complete and selfless humility. Just imagine me begging and kneeling, and believe me, I do feel that way. I'd kneel by myself before a lady as charming as you. Today's death is the first, but it won't be the last. Simon has opened the source of irreplaceable victims. Soon their number will multiply. I beg you to preserve the lives of several people when the lines of their fortune cross yours. Before any of them dies, there will be a moment when you will be able to intervene. I know that for a fact. Who are these people? That doesn't matter. What was destined to happen will happen. You can be whatever you want to be, but not a coward choosing to hear no evil and run away from reality. I will give you a list of those I know of. Those people are bound to you. Bound? There is a tight spring of power within each of these people. Each of them can break the routine of human existence and become something greater. They are standing on the verge of their humanity, gazing into the realm where they could serve a different, higher purpose, without even knowing it. Moreover, they are bound to make the leap in one way or another. That's why we simply call them the Bound. But how is their fate bound to mine? Did you say my victory depended on them? How? I don't know. I'm not a mistress yet. The future is not as clear to me as I would prefer, but I can feel the present. I can already distinguish a dubious guess from the pulse of the precise knowledge devoid of words and images. These people are bound to you. Your lives are connected. I wouldn't have asked you to take care of them otherwise. Are you clairvoyant or something? Ah, yes. You haven't been told, have you? It didn't even cross my mind that someone may be unaware of my abilities. No one here dares doubt them, for they are evident. Yes, the mistress of every ruling house possesses special abilities. I am learning to see the future and transform the present. This fact offers your words a different degree of authenticity. Will you comply with my request? Will you save the lives of the people I named to you? Answer me. Before going back to Eva. How do you know that Eva has asked me to come back? I know Eva. She wants to safeguard you from my nocturnal intrigues, doesn't she? She strives to touch the mysteries of our family, to learn the game we are playing. Oh, well, talk to her. Perhaps you two will manage to uncover some bits and pieces of the Kains' dark conspiracy against humanity. But you haven't given me an answer. What will it be? I will do as you ask, Maria. My honor bids me to. And you'd be better off not giving me cheek. You won't like me when I'm angry. Whatever happens, these people must live. Their fates are bound to mine. They may well hold the keys to my victory in their hands. Georgi Kain, Victor Kain, Andrei Stamatin, Peter Stamatin, Malia Kaina, Eva Jan, Mark Immortal.
I'm feverish. What can it be?
We, the Kains, have always been out of touch with mundane reality. We are not driven by love, but we are driven by love. Love can be furious, funny, and blind, but there's never a need to make excuses for it, is there? Now, what exactly did you see in that dream of yours? The one that had to do with me? A truly terrifying battle is ahead of you. If no one has ever told you about your fate, I will be the first. You must know that I admire you in advance, regardless of the outcome. You will fight a foe that few can defeat. Is this a prophecy? You will clash with your foe like a dragon slayer, but your weapon will turn against you. Striking at the heart, you will end up with your own flesh torn. Every drop of blood you squeeze out of that heart will turn into a gulp of yours. If your foe escapes you, penetrates you, or saddles you, you will hear malicious laughter in your ears, and my crestfallen weeping. So it's about the murderer. Well, I will make them regret your tears, whoever they are. So we've got a list of our bound, who are mainly the members of the Kain family, as well as some others we've yet to meet. Ah, our colleagues have returned again. No doubt with more information to tell us. This town is small and rather unexceptional, isn't it? But there are all kinds of people here, the simple folk and the more remarkable ones. The former will tell you more than they know. The latter know way more than they're ever going to let out. Keep a close eye on them. Your victory depends on it. And who are these remarkable people? There are 20-something of them, easily distinguished by their lodgings or their presence. They are called many names: the Bound, the Fated, the Adherents, the Gobos Taglur, the Town Circle. Simon preferred their company to any others. Is that a sect or something? No. There used to be a pagan game called Taglur, a roundelay of sorts. A Taglur means a kin circle, and Gobo was a character from a local epic, and so the people that Simon was interested in the most are called the Gobos Taglur. Some of them don't even know one another. How did Simon choose them? Because it is they that will decide the fate of this town. Don't be distracted by the fact that some of them look insignificant or disreputable. They will earn their worth. You just give them time. They are the most important joint of the town. Why are you telling me all this? Each day, one of them will try death by the tooth. Each will put their life at risk, and each one that dies is important. Some of them may take the keys to victory to the grave. Mind that the keys are yours, while the grave is theirs. Others will do the opposite. Don't waste your chance to condemn someone who may get in your way. How do you know what is helpful and what gets in the way? Okay, alright. Dropping you more hints will be cheating. Shutting up now. Allow me to conclude then. Each bound you save will influence the finale of your adventure. Each of them has their own goals and motives. It may so happen that those who seek a different ending survive, and then... well, you've been warned. Okay, I'll take that into account and I will be careful. There is something in particular we feel the urge to warn you about. When you speak to the Bound, please choose your words carefully. Do not worry, you will easily be able to make out what kind of person is standing before you, an observant man that you are. So use that skill when dealing with the Bound. Some of them are indeed worth insulting, whereas others need to be treated with utmost respect. If I ever engage in conversations with someone, it won't be for personal gain. Each conversation will bring you a small profit, depending on the outcome, of course. Depending on the outcome. Every line you utter will have consequences. News spreads rapidly around here. If you spoil your reputation in one place, you will have to reap what you have sown in another. Restore your good name in the south, and you'll receive a warmer welcome in the north. They will heed every word you say, and you will be rewarded. Not by means of money, I hope. A handful of money. It's not a dialogue fee, don't get me wrong. Never refuse to take small sums of money from the bound. That would not belittle you in any fashion, but would rather demonstrate that you appreciate the local customs. Alright, I'll keep the local customs in mind. So I think that's a good place to end the video. We just got introduced to the Kains and learned a lot more about what's going on in the world of Pathologic. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Please consider giving a like if you did, and subscribe to join me on this journey with the Bachelor across the fabled and magical world of Pathologic. And I will see you all in the next episode. Take care and have a good day.